And already have CH Gadgets in here. Oh. Okay, so I played myself again. I forgot that once you get in here, you have to hit the start stream button. So sorry about the delay. I was sitting here talking to myself for 2 minutes again. And I was actually like a minute late because I had to finish getting everything done from dinner. Oops. I turned my heater off. Yeah, so interesting evening. Yeah, so I decided to make a brisket today. I went grocery shopping yesterday. I picked up a like a 5.5, 6 pound trim brisket that I cooked on the smoker. But if you want to see it, you can click over on the Twitters, and I have some pictures there of the food that I made. But hopefully everyone's having a great evening tonight. A couple people in here already. Denny Original, hello. Thanks for being here. Preston Zotz, yes, you are early, and now you're here on time. Scott Viper, hey, thanks for stopping by again tonight. So hopefully we can catch some of the people that weren't able to make it yesterday. I know that yesterday's was, I didn't set a reminder thing like today. So today I wanted to make sure, follow up, get the link out there so people knew that it was going to be at 7:30 tonight, and hopefully hop in, catch some of the regulars that couldn't make it yesterday. Get these markers. Oops, not what I'm going for there. Try and get all the little buttons off the screen there, if I can. Okay, maybe not. So, hopefully everybody's having a good Sunday evening. Of course, tomorrow is Monday, which means we all have to go back to work. I gotta say, I'm not super looking forward to going back to work tomorrow. These weekends, they go by so fast, especially now during the holiday season. I mean, there's so much stuff going on right now that it just goes by so fast. Doing stuff with the family. We got the tree decorated this weekend. We got a bunch of presents wrapped and under the tree now. And I think after the show, we're going to watch watch Die Hard. I think some people consider it one of the greatest Christmas movies ever made. And some people consider it one of the greatest action movies ever made. And some people, I mean, maybe they put it in the action and Christmas category. So I don't know what y'all think, but I enjoy the Die Hard movies, especially the original one. Digital Slang, hey, thanks for stopping by, man. Glad to have you here. Just talking about briefly, whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie or whether it is an action movie. Or, of course, it can be both. But some people like to call it the greatest Christmas movie ever made. Which, I mean, I'm not going to argue with them. Normally, I had to switch my drink. Normally, I have like these off-brand, like grocery store sparkling water drinks that are fruit flavored with fruit juice, and my grocery store stopped making them. So I got this Izzy stuff. I don't know. I'll try it out and see if it's any good. It's probably gross. Most of these drinks I don't find are all that good. Okay, it's actually pretty good. But yeah, I got a couple of videos lined up already for this week. I've got a fun one for tomorrow. Some people may eye roll at it. I mean, I'm probably going to get a lot of Apple. I'm probably going to get a lot of Apple people that are not happy about it because it's about the iPhone. So I made a video, and you'll get to watch it tomorrow. It's called The Most Dangerous Phone of 2020. And I'm going to ruin the surprise. The phone that I picked in the video is about is the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which, of course, I love it. It's a very good phone. But I almost dropped it on my face the other night, and it was slightly traumatic, just because it's such a heavy phone. It's super dense. It's got the premium materials in it. It weighs 228 grams, which is really heavy for a phone. It's a really good phone though. I like it a lot. But between the stainless steel, between the glass, the half a pound weight that it carries, the flat sides on it. I mean, if I play on my phone a lot when I'm getting ready to go to bed. Like usually when I start dozing off is when it's time for me to call it a night. But I was just laying there playing on my phone and floop, and it was a scary moment. Got you thinking about Blackberry. So yeah, I saw your reply earlier, which I mean I commented on it. And you can still pick up a Blackberry right now if you've never played with one, if you haven't used one in a long time. The last couple of days, I've been using my Key 2 LE again and doing a lot of tweeting from it. And if you saw yesterday, I made a comment saying that Blackberries are the best phones for social media or for Twitter. And that is because it's so accurate to type on a physical keyboard. Like, it drives me crazy, especially with Instagram. Like, Instagram, like, everything has autocorrect until it comes to Instagram hashtags. And then you will see exactly how poor your typing is without having the autocorrect or the assist. And it's nearly impossible to, like, type out hashtags that you want to include in your Instagram post. It drives me crazy. And, then Twitter changes things all the time because between, with the iPhone and the app on, they're trying to tell you what you should be trying to type instead of what you're actually trying to type. So I love doing social media posts on my Blackberry because it's so accurate. It says what I want it to, and I don't have problems when it comes to trying to do hashtags, especially with Instagram, because it does exactly what I want it to, and it's much more accurate and precise when I'm typing on the physical keyboard. So it saves me a lot of heartache. So yeah, the last couple of days I've really been enjoying it. And the Key 2 LE is still a perfectly good phone, especially if you can pick one up cheap. It's on Android 8.1, but it's got a fairly recent security patch update on it. And yeah, all the apps still work. It's not like when you look at the older Blackberries where it's like, here, let me look at a Blackberry from, like 2013, 2014 or whatever. And, it's using Blackberry 10. It doesn't have a lot of the apps that you need. The Key 2, the Key 2 LE, the Motion, the Blackberry Key 1, like if you can find one of those fairly inexpensive, all the apps still work for it just fine. So you don't have any problems there. Edgar Weidman just jumped in here. How's Onward Mobility coming along? So I talked about this quite a bit in yesterday's stream. There's no updates right now. And I reached out to them and I told y'all a couple weeks ago, I sent them an email. I did a follow-up request this last week to ask them specifically if Peter would like to come on and do another interview in the next week or two. And they wrote back and said that they don't have anything new to share right now, but they're adding me onto their priority media list. So in the event, like, as soon as they have something to share, I'm going to get it at the same time as the other outlets get it, or at least I'm supposed to. And then I will let everybody know. But I've been saying for a while now, like, I don't expect there to be any news until January. And I'm hoping with CES being at the beginning of January, I'm hoping that they'll have something to announce and, like, tell everybody. So we'll see what happens there. Josh, I bought mini Blackberry recently, playing on devices I wish I had. Yeah, the Pearl and the Flip were good. The Pearl Flip was cool. I always wanted one of those. I never got one. I've been thinking about picking one up myself just to play with it. But yeah, that was a totally cool phone. I loved my Pearl. Like, I had 2 or 3 different Pearls, and this was back in the day. Like, I did not have a lot of money back in like 2006, 2007, whenever I got my first Pearl, or 2007, 2008. And I totally loved that phone. I used it until I blew out the trackball on it and then had to get another one. And then, I got it off of eBay. I think it was like $400 or $500 back then. Like, it wasn't cheap by any stretch of the imagination. But, very, very good phones. Edgar, you're welcome. I've had a lot of people asking about that, especially because it's been a while. And I was hanging out in Crackberry, and I was talking to some of the guys in the forums yesterday, just going over some stuff because people were speculating like, oh, is Onward Mobility dead? Is it a failure? Is it not working? We haven't heard anything in a while. And they're perfectly fine. At least as far as I know, there have been no changes. And that's the thing. They just started this licensing agreement in August. Like, granted, yes, they could have some plans, they could have some ideas, they could have some things that they want to talk about, but by and large, I mean, you can't go out and make a BlackBerry phone unless you've got the licensing agreement, because otherwise you'll just get sued, because BlackBerry doesn't want you using their stuff, using their name. They're the ones in control of the software. There's other things, other intellectual property I'm sure that they need to get from BlackBerry, and they got a contract and had to get the deal with FIH. So I'm sure that there was some behind-the-scenes stuff that was going on, but when I talked to Peter back, I guess probably about 6 to 8 weeks ago, maybe 7 to 8 weeks ago, it was my understanding they had not settled on a final design yet. And I'm sure that they have some designs in mind, but I don't think they were at the point to really announce anything. But I do know whenever he spoke with Brad, with the Barry Reporter, a couple weeks ago on his podcast, He said there would be new information coming down the road soon. So I really think that that's going to be early January. And I'm going to be keeping my eyes on that stuff at CES. And I got to do my CES registration. That just opened up on Friday. So I got an email to register. But whenever I do the registration stuff, like, you can kind of look and see some of the vendors that are going to be available. At least you could before. Like, you could see the floor plan and see where everyone's going to be available. But I don't know how this whole all digital CES thing is going to work. So I don't know, but you can sometimes see some of the companies are going to be there. And if Blackberry or Onward Mobility is going to be at CES, that would be slightly, telling. At least a hint, maybe. Let me see. Edgar Wyman, thanks. Perfected Torch 9810 was the best. Yeah, I never had a Torch. I always wanted one, but I never had one before. Casey Santana, I love my Blackberry Key 1 Black Edition. I noticed a major difference in opposed to the Key 1 Silver. Yeah, there is a big difference. That one extra gigabyte of RAM and the extra 32 gigabytes of storage makes a huge difference with that phone. Like, the Black Edition is what the first one should have been in the beginning. Like, had they launched the Key 1 Black Edition first with the extra gigabyte of RAM and didn't have to go back and address that later, like, that's not something you often see with phones. Like, they came out with the 3 gigabyte 32, and then like, oh, by the way, we need to add an extra gigabyte of RAM because the phone is too clunky. So that was a big surprise. I'm glad they did it. That extra gig of RAM makes all the difference. Ben D, what do you think of all the updates coming to BlackBerry Key 2? You'll think we'll have an Android 10. So these updates have been kind of a surprise, and this one seemed very narrow for this one. I believe only the Key 2 got it, but I was talking to someone else, and I believe that some networks are going to get it for the Key 2 LE, at least Rogers in Canada is supposed to, so we'll see if it trickles down. But no, we're definitely not going to see Android 10. Ed, hey, thanks for stopping by, man. Glad to see you here tonight. Jorge or George Marroquin, hey, what carrier are you using for BlackBerry, and how long do you think you're going to support services? So I'm using T-Mobile right now, and I'm not going to be able to use my BlackBerry 10 devices, at least not the Q10 and the Z10. I'm not entirely certain. I think the Z30 and the Passport support voice over LTE or VoLTE. I'm not entirely sure, though. I haven't looked that much yet, but I know the Q10 and the Z10 don't, which is frustrating because I have my Porsche P9983, which is based off of the Q10. And I use it on T-Mobile. So whenever the 2G, 3G, 4G gets shut off, starting January 2021, I won't be able to use it on there any longer. So I'll have to get a T-Mobile. I've got a SIM with Red Pocket Mobile using the AT&T network, so I'm going to put that in there, and it should continue to work for another year. AT&T is not shutting off their 2G, 3G stuff until sometime 2022. So that, and if you've still got one that can work on Verizon, those are probably the best bets right now. But T-Mobile, in another couple of weeks, you won't even be able to use it anymore. Brad Richards, hey, thanks for being here tonight. Good evening from Canada. Good evening from Texas. Let me see. Bad News Brown. Will the success of the BlackBerry coming in 2021 dictate if Onward Mobility will do a BlackBerry OS? So BlackBerry OS is set to be end of life in 2022. I don't expect there to be any phones or updates revolving around that operating system. Like, I would love for there to be some way for it to be revived, but I just don't see it at this point in time. Can you please provide the link for the sideload Android apps to the BlackBerry Passport BB10 OS? I can tell you where I get apps from, and I know there's another place that some people go. Some people have still managed to use the side-loaded app store, but I haven't been as successful with that. Let me see. Anyway, so this is where I get all my Android apps from, and you can download the APK straight from there and download them onto your phone. So there's that. Give that a whirl. The only thing I have to say about it is when it comes to that website, hold on a second. When it comes to that website, of course, I can't vouch for all of the apps that are on there because they're not through like a protected or a secure place like the Play Store. But I've been using it myself for years and haven't had any problems that I've noticed. So just that disclaimer right there. Blackberry Key 1 keyboard is too small. Yeah, the Key 1 keyboard is a little on the small side. I was glad with the Key 2 and the Key 2 LE where they opened it up more. But yeah, it's just one of those things where that's what we had at the time, and it wasn't bad, but certainly wasn't the best. Bell is the best service in Canada. I'm not familiar. I know there's Rogers. I know there's Bell. There's a couple other ones that up there. I've never been. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know y'all have got some decent service up there. Yes, George. Yeah, I'm back. So. For those of you who don't know or didn't know, so 2 weeks ago I had to have oral surgery, so I was out. I couldn't talk for almost a week. And last Wednesday, I made the mistake of hopping on and doing a live stream for my normal weekly Wednesday night show with my buddy Dan, and it was very painful. I regretted that about 10 or 15 minutes into it. So without going too much in depth on the procedure, so. My back molar had to be removed, so it broke. A couple years ago, I was sitting in my law school final, and I had a substantial filling in it already, but it wasn't giving me any problems or anything. And I was eating a Mentos candy, and on like question 108 out of like 120 questions on my final exam, which was worth my entire grade. Sitting there chewing on that candy, and my tooth just like broke in half, basically. Like the whole back half of it just gone, which was not fun. So they had to do a whole bunch of procedures to try and fix it. Did a root canal. They like had to rebuild like the foundation of it and like lower my gum line to get to it. It was a mess. Like $15,000 the dental insurance paid, and 3 or 4 procedures later, they fixed my tooth and put a crown on it. And here, like back in October, my wife and I we went out of town for our anniversary, 8-year anniversary, and the night before we left to go out of town, my crown came off again, and I thought that it had just popped off and they could put it back on. Went into the dentist a couple days later, and they're like, "Yeah, so the tooth just is no good anymore. Like the top part that's holding on to the crown is just going away. So all we can do is just take it out. And if you want to pay for it, they could put in a dental implant." Or you can just have it extracted. And I'm like, well, I'm 36 years old. I've got a lot of chewing left in my life, so I'd like to go ahead and do the whole dental implant thing. It was like $3,500, which is absolutely crazy because insurance doesn't pay anything for it because it's cosmetic and not a dental necessity. So yeah, they had to extract that and then drill into my jaw and put this post in so that they can, put this dental implant in like 5 months after it heals up. But yeah, I was not in good shape for like a week. It was not a pleasant experience at all. So first week, terrible. Second week, okay. Totally fine now, which is why I'm back streaming. And I went ahead and I streamed yesterday and then wanted to do it again today so I could catch some more of the guys who couldn't make it yesterday with my impromptu stream. Let me answer a couple of these. So Ed, I'm on T-Mobile and sometimes on the Surface Duo it reads G instead of LTE. What is that? So that just means that it switched over to 4G instead of LTE. So LTE is part of 4G. LTE actually stands for long-term evolution, which is the more enhanced version of the 4G signal. The way you can tell that your phone supports voice over LTE or not, if you're on your phone and you make a phone call and you look at the little antenna, if it stays on LTE, then that means you have voice over LTE. If it switches to 4G, then that means that you don't have voice over LTE or it's not enabled. And I see there that yes, I know the Priv has voice over LTE, and that's why I'm saying I'm not certain about the V30 and the Passport. I thought maybe they might have because they had different antennas than the Z10 and the Q10, but I have not confirmed that. I've not looked to see for certain whether they are, but that hasn't been a primary concern of mine because this is the phone that I care about right here. So I'll be using this on AT&T starting in January. Yeah, as precisely because I purchased $9.98 for eBay. Yeah, so you'll be able to use it on AT. You should be able to use it on AT&T for another year, at least. You should be good to 2022. V40 versus OnePlus 6T. Honestly, I'd probably go OnePlus 6T. Less frills, better operating system, more updates. The 6T is a really good phone. I had one and I just got rid of it. I gave it to my nephew. He needed a new phone, so I gave it to my nephew. Hey, Boom in the Sky, Adam. No, you're Adam too. I am Adam. I am the OG original article. All other Adams are just substitutes. And you, sir, Boom in the Sky, Adam 2. You're Adam 2, not me. But also, just to say one thing real quick. So, this Boom in the Sky guy right here, his name is Adam. He's with Soundcore. He's their audio guy. And asked me earlier if... let me see if I can change the delay here. Sorry about that. I'm not the greatest with this streaming stuff. So let me see if I can figure out the delay thing. But yeah, so on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm supposed to be going live on Amazon with Soundcore to talk about some of their products. So I will be there. So hopefully I'll have a link and more information as that comes on. But another guy they have, Aaron, I was on there with him a couple of months ago, and it was a good time talking, all Anchor stuff. So this time I believe it's just going to be talking Soundcore stuff. But if y'all have watched any of my audio reviews before, I do like audio stuff. I do like to cover earbuds and some other things, and Soundcore makes some really good products. So I'm looking forward to being on and talking with them again. Let me see here. Do you like cats? Yes, I do like cats, Hamazan. I had cats for a very long time growing up. Like from when I was a kid, my parents didn't much care for dogs, so we always had cats. So up until I joined the military when I was like 17, I always had cats. And then whenever later on, once I got married and had kids and family later and whatever, we ended up with dogs. I haven't had a cat in a very long time, but I do like them. I'm actually kind of allergic to them now. Growing up with them as a kid, I mean, they used to be here all the time, sleep in bed with us. They were everywhere. We always had inside cats. Never bothered me, but now that I've been away from cats for so long, I'm actually kind of allergic to them, which is kind of odd. J.R. Kelly, how's it going checking in from CT? I'd like to see more Z Flip content. Hey, so I'm going to make some more Z Flip content, and I've actually got it right here. So I really love the Z Flip. The Z Flip may very well be my most favorite phone of the year. I totally love it. I bought it. I had the original Z Flip. I've got the Z Flip 5G here, and I was going to sell it. I had somebody who actually wanted to buy it, and but then that fell through, and I thought, you know what? I really enjoy this phone, so I'm just going to keep it. Because the resale value is only like $850 now. I paid $1,449 for this the first week of August. So we're only September, October, November, December. We're like 4 months away, and this thing has dropped half in value. So I really don't want to sell it for that much. I mean, I'm not that hard up for the money that I just need to sell it for a 50% loss 4 months later. And inevitably, I'll get the new one, and Samsung will give me like $700-800 for it anyway. So I decided to go ahead and keep it. I'm going to make some more content on it. I just haven't been able to lately because I've had so many new phones. I've had like probably 6 new phones that I've got in the last, 6-7 weeks, which is great. It's great for the channel. I just haven't been able to go back and cycle back and cover some more stuff. So I did make a Z Flip video a little while ago, and I've got some other stuff that I want to make on it, but I do enjoy it very much. GravX Reviews. Ryan, hey, thanks for stopping by tonight. Glad to have you here. Yeah, I'll talk to you, Adam, later. I'm not the greatest when it comes to OBS. It's not my specialty, so I got to figure out how to fix the delay. But I apologize for that tonight. I don't want to end up messing this up somehow. Like maybe I don't really know how to change it. I'm sure it has something to do with a setting in OBS that I can do. But I don't know if I can change it midstream. So I don't want to mess. Oh, here's stream settings. Maybe it's right here. Stream latency is on normal. So maybe what I need to do is put it on low or ultra low latency for next time. But I can't change it right now. So, I apologize for the delay. Let me see. Then dental insurance is a huge scam. Yeah, dental insurance is terrible. Like, it's great if you just need to get x-rays twice a year and 2 cleanings and maybe a minor filling done. But anything beyond that, is not very helpful. Canada's slow going to 5G. Yeah, it's probably because so much of Canada, at least from my knowledge, is rural. I mean, there's our major built-up areas, of course. I know there's suburbs, but you know, lots of interior Canada and places like that, I imagine, are a lot like interior areas in the United States where it's just not at yet. Rohan Leander, I'm fine, able to join. This is my second stream. Oh, nice. Well, thanks for being here tonight. Okay, Adam. Yeah, so we'll talk about whatever. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about some Soundcore stuff too. But yeah, I'm glad y'all invited me to come on the show again on Tuesday, so that'll be fun. Arthur Barrows, found your channel this other day, enjoying your reviews on everything Blackberry. Keep it up. Cheers from Brazil. Hey, thanks a lot, man. I'm glad you found the channel. I'm glad you enjoy it. Brazil's a great place. I actually went there for a week back in 2011. So I went to, I deployed in 2010 to 2011, went to a country called Kyrgyzstan, and I was there for like 8 months, 7 to 8 months. And then when I came home, I went to Rio de Janeiro. I was there for a week. And I got to tell you, when I was in Kyrgyzstan, when I left, it was like -10, -15 degrees. Like, it was really cold. And then I came back, and then like 2 days later, I was on a plane to go to Rio de Janeiro, and it was 96 down there. Oh my gosh. Talk about shock. I was I was in a bad place. It was crazy. King Singh, hey, will you get the new Sony Xperia? You know, I would love to. I really, really like the Sony Xperia phones. The problem is, they want too much money for them, I think, than I'm willing to pay. And I don't have a large subscriber base that really, I think, pays attention to those phones. And especially going into January, seeing as I won't have my normal job in January. Like, my normal job is kind of, it pays well, which is good, and then like the revenue I make off of YouTube enables me to buy things to review. So like I paid and bought the Fold, I bought the Z Flip, I bought the Note and things like that. So like some of the really expensive phones that are especially like Samsung, I pay for that out of my own pocket. So since I won't have my regular job starting in January, unless I can find a way to talk to Sony and convince them to send me a phone, I don't think I'll be covering those, and that's just why. And Edgar, thank you so much for the super chat here. I really appreciate it. $5 Canadian, and yeah, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Just thought I should contribute some to this channel. It's awesome to tune in, have a place to talk tech and Blackberry. Well, hey, it's awesome for me too. You know, for years and years and years, like I didn't have anybody to talk to about Blackberry, so. I would talk to like my wife, I'd talk to people at work, and they're like, oh my gosh, dude, shut up about Blackberry. And then I'm like, you know what, let me make my own channel. So it's great to have people who love the phones and the company as much as I do and have a place to do it. So that's what we're here for. Augustine Harrow, hi Adam, have your live listening and making me company. Live listening, I'm writing an academic paper about history. Oh, well, good luck to that. Hopefully this is good listening while you do that. I actually have an undergraduate minor in history. I took quite a few history classes whenever I was doing my undergrad. So hopefully it's enjoyable. I always love history. It's great to learn about stuff. I had a good time with that. Luca, man, the phone is fire. Yes, the Z Flip is a great phone. Amazon, is the Unihertz Titan worth to use as a daily driver now? It can be, and I think it just got, or it's supposed to get... Android 10. So, I mean, it may be a decent time now. I was approached by the Unihertz people here recently, and they want me to review their Titan 2 once it comes out, but they couldn't give me a word on when it's going to come out. So, you know, with the news of the Titan 2 being on the horizon sometime, and then the new Blackberry coming out next year, like, I don't know if I personally would go buy a Unihertz Titan right now, but if you can get one cheap or buy a used one that looks like it's in good shape, I mean, go for it. I don't think it's a bad phone. And it's certainly not expensive. It's like $339 brand new. So if you can swing it and you just want something to use for $6 or $7, 7 months, and go for it. Let me see. Just audio sync in settings. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out, Ryan. I'll talk to you after this because this whole stream thing is not the newest to me. Hey, Fiona, thanks for stopping by tonight. I'm glad to have you here. Ephraim Cooper, Canada sucks. I wouldn't say that. Canada is a really great place. And I got to tell you, some of the nicest people that I have ever met are from Canada. Like, I've got some really good friends up there. And, you know, down here in the States, like, people a lot of times are much more easily offended than the people that I've met from Canada. They're just some of the nicest people ever. So I have nothing negative ever to say about them. What's new with Blackberry? Nothing new right now. I'm hoping to hear something around CES or maybe after that, but we'll have to see. Let me see. Boom in the sky. Here's how to do it in OBS. Click on the cog next to an audio source in the mixer. Okay, I see that. Audio input. Advanced audio delay. So it's under advanced audio properties, and then set delay on all the audio sources. I don't know what to do that. I'm in here. I may have to call you on the phone and have you walk me through this later so I don't screw something up. I see, oh, sync offset. Here we go. Audio, so I'll do, I just set all of them to 2. We'll see if that does anything. We'll see if it fixes in a minute. But I tried. Oh, Ryan, Gravix Reviews, thank you very much. Number 1 fan. You totally didn't have to do a super chat, but I totally appreciate it. And, yeah, doing pretty good right now. We got 29 concurrent viewers in here at the moment, and 22 likes. So that's a pretty good viewer to like ratio. King Sing, have been checking the Sony Xperia 5. They finally improved their phones. Yeah, the Xperia 5 is a really, really good phone. I got a couple of friends that have covered those, and they make. If you check out Juan, some gadget guy, he made, and TK Bay. They also covered. Juan Carlos Bagnell, and TK Bay. They cover the Sony phones really well. So if you want to get information on them, I would direct you to go to their pages because they do a much better job than I ever could have. And they're just great guys all around. Casey Santana, I appreciate your content and thank you in advance for what's to come in the future. Hey, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the videos that I make. It's always great to be able to hop on here and talk to people. And glad that y'all like the videos. So let me try this some more. So sync offset for mic, I'll change it to 30 millisecond and see if that fixes it. Yeah, Ryan, Juan makes great videos. I love watching his stuff. He does a really tremendous job over there. Edgar Weidman, put this in your Sony budget. How about all you guys chip in to see if we can? Yeah, I'm not gonna say don't donate money, but yeah, if y'all can scrape together like $600-700, whatever the price of the Xperia 5 is, I will buy it and review it. But I at this point in time won't be purchasing out of that amount of pocket. But thank you very much, Edgar, for the donation. I really appreciate it. Luca, yes. Hey, 26. I appreciate all the likes and all you people taking the time here to watch and hang out tonight. And yes, like Digital Slang, I thank you for mentioning that. So, channel memberships are available now for the channel. So that was a significant milestone here a little while back, and I got it open. And yeah, so if you want to become a member, there's different membership tiers. There's like a $199 tier, I think a $499. I can't remember the other price, but I have different things set up on there. Of course, the base one, gets you the little icon. So like Digital Slang has next to his name, who's a member, which I appreciate. And then here shortly, I'm doing a members only live stream once a month. So that one will be coming up soon, since we just hit the first month. And I might have to do it off the calendar month. It's just everything's been so crazy lately. Let me see. But yeah, if y'all do want to support the channel that way, that's always an option. Super chats are also always available, and I certainly appreciate it. Of course, it's not a requirement for any of this stuff. And of course, hit the like and the subscribe button, especially if you like the content and enjoy being here. 70 millisecond. Yeah, I'll try that one. I bumped it to 30 millisecond. I don't know if that's helped out any. You people. I don't know what you're saying. I'm not sure what the reference is. Have you visited Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia? No, I have not. I've never been over there before. Over on the east, I've been to Japan. Oh, and thank you so much, Edgar, for signing up and becoming a channel member. So welcome to the cool tier. It is cool. Being a Tech Odyssey member is cool. So thank you so much for the contribution and the support there. And thank you all for your support for being here tonight and any other time and coming through for the videos as well. But yeah, so I've never been to Malaysia before. I went to Kazakhstan. I have been briefly in Romania. I've been to Germany. I've been to lots of different places. Iraq, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, Oman, UAE, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Japan, but I've never been to Malaysia. But I hear it's a really nice place. I would like to visit there one day. One day I want to come over and like visit Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand. There's a lot of places over there that I want to go. Jiffer, oh well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Actually, I do need to trim it up some. Yeah, it's not the best right now. I ran out of my beard conditioner stuff this last week. But yeah, thanks for the compliment. Have you figured out your Blackberry port situation? So it is getting sent back to the gentleman. He did give me a return receipt, and they are going to reimburse me for that. So I'm sending the fake Blackberry back. Yeah, so I'm getting my money back on that one. So I don't really have any complaints there. I did point it out to the gentleman that the phone was 100% fake. And to his knowledge, he said he did not know that. Whether he knew that or not is a completely different story. I don't know. But at least I'm getting my money back on that one. So we'll see. Any other questions? Any other phones y'all want to know about? Right now, I'm covering, of course, the Poco ones, and I've been making a bunch of content on that lately because there's not a whole lot of it out there, especially in the U.S. But the Poco M3 recently got the Poco X3 NFC. Also, I'm really crossing my fingers. So Xiaomi has been really good with me lately, sending me phones. So I'm hoping to get the Mi 11 when it comes out. Like, I'm really, really hoping, because it's going to be their first phone with the Snapdragon 888. So yeah, I'm trying to get the Mi 10 Ultra right now. I did ask them about it, so they're looking into it. If I can get the Mi 10 Ultra, that would be super, super cool. Yeah, Jeffrey. No, I mean, I didn't take it personally, but yeah. So generally, my wife likes my beard. Right now, she's actually the one that sabotaged me. Normally, I condition it every day. For those of you who want to know about my beard care, but she decided she didn't like the conditioner anymore and bought a new one, and then took mine and put it in the kids' bathroom. So I was like without it for a while and thought maybe she threw it away or it ran out. So normally it does look better than this, but it is about time for a trim, I think. Yes, so Fiona, I got a fake Blackberry. I ordered a Blackberry Porsche P9982, and I ordered it, and it was off of eBay, and it was supposed to be refurbished, like new open box, like somebody bought it and just used it for a little while and then returned it. Well, when it showed up, it turned out to be a fake one, and it was just a Z10 that somebody put inside of a P9982 body and then did some other stuff with it. So yeah, I knew immediately that it was not a passport, not a Porsche. I opened it up, I looked at it. As soon as I turned it on, you could see the screen was blue instead of the Porsche gray. It didn't have the Porsche theme. It didn't have the Porsche clock. When you went into the settings, it said Z10, not Porsche P9982. It had 16 gigabytes of RAM and not of storage and not 64. Didn't have the Porsche pin. So there's just a lot of different reasons. So yeah, it was a fake one. You're going to donate your hair, Jiffer. That's a good cause. I know people that do that and have done that before, and that's really great to help people out. So kudos to you for that. Amazon, do I have a Spotify playlist? You know, I don't know. I'll have to look at that. I listen to stuff on Spotify. I pay $10 a month for Spotify, and I have a bunch of music I listen to there, but I don't know that I've created a custom playlist for people to listen to, but I should probably do that. And that would be cool too, because when I do audio reviews, I could share that, and people could like watch them and be like, okay, cool, this is the music he listens to. Or, I mean, if y'all just care about the music I listen to in general, and that would be neat. Could you compare Apple Watch with Fitbit and other smart activity trackers? I just switched from an Apple Watch Series 6 to a Fitbit. I've never actually had a Fitbit before. I do have the TicWatch Pro 3 back behind me, so I am going to do a comparison video between that and the Apple Watch Series 6, so that will be down the road. As far as Fitbit, I know I can reach out to them and see what's going on. Mio, if anyone, yeah, so a lot of people have asked. So the whole news on the Blackberry right now is there just isn't any new information at the moment. I did talk with their PR people earlier this last week, like Wednesday or Thursday, and they said that there's just nothing new to talk about right now, and they're putting me on their priority list for the media, so whenever they have new announcements to make, I will also be included on that list. And they said that once there is new information to talk about, then Peter is going to come back, Peter being the CEO of Onward Mobility, and will come back and do another interview with me. So I'm hoping sometime beginning of next year we'll see. Let me see. Edgar, I prefer the 4A over the V60. The 4A is such a good phone. I don't have the 4A 5G. I do love the 4A though, and I asked the Team Pixel guys if they'd give me the 4A 5G, and they never got back with me, so I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get my hands on one. Let me see. Tobis, what devices should I get? So the V60 is a very good phone. It really just depends on what's in your price range, and you can get V60s relatively inexpensive. So if you want a larger screen with more power, if you're looking to be playing like games and stuff like that, I would say, yeah, go V60. If you just want something small, compact, guaranteed to get 3 years of upgrades, fantastic camera performance, and it's just overall good phone, go ahead and get the 4A. It's a really good device. The 4A 5G is an even better device than the 4A. Have I ever tried QOBUZ? I don't know who they are. I'm guessing that's an audio company, but I'm not familiar. Did you know in 1910, 40% of all mills were electric? Jalen is a baker. Oh, that's cool. King Sing. By the way, Sony Xperia is going... Yeah, the Xperia 5 II... Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I knew that the 5 was out. I haven't paid attention for the 5 II or the 5 II. So, yeah, that's a lot of money. But, hey, the 5 was a really good phone. So, I don't doubt that this one will be good, too. Oh, and they brought back the headphone jack. That's solid, especially for like kind of how they're geared towards with their phones. I think it's very appropriate for them to have a headphone jack. I'll have to reach out myself. I had in my mind they were owned by TCL, but I have no idea. What are you talking about, Fiona? Reaching out to who? Do you practice? I don't practice civil or criminal litigation, Hamazan. I'm a tax attorney. So what I do specifically. Whenever I was in law school, I specialized in tax and in contracts. So the first year and a half started my practice, I was a contract specialist, and I drafted and reviewed and did a contract negotiation. And then what I've been doing for the last year and a half, which was my primary specialty in law school, was low-income taxpayer representation. So what I do is I work for a nonprofit organization, and I help people out who are low income, who owe the IRS money and need help with the IRS. So that's what I do. It falls under civil, but I don't do a lot of litigation. It's more administrative work. I've only actually had to go into tax court a few times. It's not something. Okay. So apparently I got disconnected there momentarily, so I apologize for that. Qobuz, yeah. Adam, I don't know Qobuz. I'll have to look into them. Are they an audio company? And Ed, yes, I still do use the TicWatch, and it's a really good watch. I like it a lot. I think it's a really, really good alternative to the Apple Watch. So I'm actually going to pair that up with my Apple Watch now to see how well it works on iOS, because I've been using it on Android. And Fiona, yeah. So BlackBerry Mobile was their own entity under TCL, but the BlackBerry Mobile licensing agreement ended in August of this year. So they pretty much no longer exist, but just send me a direct message on Twitter and I can talk to you more about it later. But Onward Mobility has their responsible for this, so you would have to reach out to them directly, but I can give you their contact. King Sing, indeed, hoping BlackBerry makes it. Yeah, I really hope that this new phone is a success. Like, I'm really, really looking forward to it whenever it comes out. It's been a while since we had a new BlackBerry phone. I don't know what's going on with the stream here tonight. It seems to be having some issues. I don't know if it's my internet or if it's the YouTube server itself. I heard somebody saying earlier that YouTube was having problems, but we'll see. Hopefully it'll get better. Justin Ebrecht, yes, lots of cool facts there. But yeah, just talk to me offline later, Fiona, and I can fill you in more on that. But yeah, lots of exciting things coming out of the pipeline. I have been using my Key 2 LE a lot more here lately. I've got a video that I'm going to make about it soon. I've actually got 2 or 3 BlackBerry videos in mind. I try to do at least 1 a week. Sometimes I do 2, just because I have so many things to review. Like, I cover so many phones. I just got this brand new Mac Mini the other day, and I haven't even had time to use it because I've been so busy with work because it's end of year closeout. And all my stuff for work is on my PC. And I use a voice over IP phone that's tied into my PC, and I can't use it on my Mac. So I've really been wanting to test this new Mac Mini out and try like editing video and some stuff like that. But I've just been so busy lately, I haven't been able to do it. My schedule will open up drastically once January 1st gets here, because when January 1st gets here, I'm only going to be doing YouTube. So that means I'll have a lot more time for these different hobby-related things. Let me see here. How do we force them to make a BlackBerry Classic? That's what I really want. Yeah, I would really love for them to make another BlackBerry Classic. I absolutely love the BlackBerry Classic. It's probably my most favorite BlackBerry, followed up or tied with the P9983 based on the Q10. So I would love for them to make that. And I said this before, that if they made another Classic and upgraded the internals and put Android on it, I would be tickled to death. That would be great. Or if they would just refresh and update BlackBerry 10 and give us a browser that worked, then I would be all over that too, and I would pay a lot of money to be able to use it. It's Crema. Hey, thanks for stopping by tonight, Crema. Crema. Hopefully I pronounce it properly. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get another BlackBerry Porsche, I don't think, unless BlackBerry just gets like amazingly big again somehow. I don't really see that happening. So, but it would be really nice. I would like that a lot. Hold on, let me address a couple people who are posting things in the chat. But yeah, amazing phones. As a tax attorney, do you have to be good at accounting? Well, I wouldn't say so. I don't do tax planning, so I guess there's different types of tax attorneys. There's tax attorneys that function more as a CPA who help out on the front side with like, yeah, just general accounting stuff and how people should manage their money. I help on the back end side. So usually, if somebody comes and talks to me, it's because they've already messed up their taxes and they owe the IRS money and they're getting letters and don't know what to do. So, yeah, some tax attorneys that practice like more types of like, I do low income taxpayer representation. If I were like a corporate tax attorney, then yes, a lot of times they require a CPA along with your law degree. So it's just one of those things where it depends on the type of work that you're doing. But the work that I do, no, I don't need to have any accounting experience. I've never even taken an accounting class. What are my thoughts on Freemasonry and secret societies, and do you believe the earth is flat? What are your thoughts? Really good documentaries on the History Channel. As far as the earth being flat, I would say no. I do not think the earth is flat. I think where I'm even sitting right now is not flat, so I'm not really worried about that. But good question. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not really worried about that, Edgar. But yeah, if y'all have any questions or anything y'all want me to cover, I got about 10 minutes left on the stream before we get ready to call it a night for Sunday, because we're almost at an hour already. But if there's anything phone related, tech related, yeah, anything y'all want to know, then I'd be happy to answer any of that stuff before I get off here. King Singh, I personally think the BlackBerry Passport SE was the last great flagship they made. I would be inclined to agree with that. I mean, it was full throttle. It was it was a amazing phone, and it was top-notch hardware, top-notch absolutely everything. And yeah, it seemed like once they went into the TCL phones, like everything was just compromises. Like there was compromises here, compromises there. It just never really was the best. I mean, the Priv, I mean, you could argue was flagship caliber phone, but even still, I mean, it had some issues. So yeah, I think the Passport was probably the last best complete phone that they made. That was just 100% BlackBerry prowess, especially the SE model. It was so good. With Onward Mobility talking about enterprise, do you think it will be difficult uphill battle to get governments to leap back on BlackBerry? Well, the problem we had with governments leaving BlackBerry before was because they were worried that it was going to go out of business. As soon as BlackBerry put up their for sale sign, it really put the question mark on could people rely on them anymore. And then they're like, no, we're just kidding, guys. We're not going out of business. We're not selling. And they just really couldn't recover from that. So it's one of those things where now that BlackBerry is based off Android, I think it's an easier sell because you don't necessarily have to rely on the back-end BlackBerry enterprise services as well. And also, Android's not going anywhere, and there's a lot more certainty in the Android market. So if they can walk into companies and be like, look, we can sell you this phone that's guaranteed to be the most secure phone in the world, and of course it's running Android, and you're going to get 2 to 3 years of updates and all that stuff, then yeah, I mean, I think that that's an argument that they could very well have. It would be a good sales pitch to talk to businesses much more effectively than what they did with BlackBerry 10. They just put too many questions into play with regards to the future of the company and whether they could be relied on or not. Because companies are not they can't afford to take risk. Like if they go out and they buy something and it's supposed to be good for a few years and then it's like, oh, by the way, we're going out of business. That does not instill a lot of confidence. So they have to be able to look at stuff long term. And with an Android-based operating system, I think that's a lot more viable. Luca, what's your phone of the year 3 picks? So my phones of the year, Pixel 4a definitely is in contention for phone of the year. OnePlus 8T definitely in contention for phone of the year. And then the third spot is really, really hard for me to pick because the Z Flip, as much as it's probably my favorite phone of the year, I don't think is necessarily the best phone of the year. Top 3 for everybody. It's certainly not the Duo. I don't think the Fold is just because it's too far out of most people's reach. So when it comes to adoptability, when it comes to viability, when it comes to performance, I think the 4A, fantastic, great phone. I think the OnePlus 8T, that and the Pixel 5 are probably side by side. And I would say premium tier, I really got to say that the iPhone 12 Pro Max is just an amazing phone. I have thoroughly enjoyed this phone, and I think it's fantastic. So those are probably my top 3 favorite picks for this year. Dr. Zayas, I thought about getting the Priv when it came out, ultimately passed. I really like BB10 at that. Yeah, that's kind of, I did switch over. I was using one BlackBerry 10 device and the Priv whenever both of those were out. And I did very much miss BlackBerry 10. Like, it never really realized its full potential. It was one of those things where it's like, it started to get really good, and then it just, the wind got taken out of the sails. So, and I think that had it realized its potential, it could have been an amazing operating system. It just got the plug pulled on it too early. All right, Ed, thanks for stopping by tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the continued support and for being here tonight. Justin Ebrecht. I don't know what the Devil's Tower is. King Sing. So, yeah, the Mark II, I have a hard time saying that that's one of the top 3 phone of the year when the year is kind of over. I don't like to pick phones that haven't been out for very long. Granted that the iPhone just came out, but the iPhone only releases one really set of phones a year. So it's a little bit easier for me to say that's in my top 3. I can't say that a phone that just came out today is going to be top 3 for me. The Huawei P40, maybe for other people, but since it doesn't have Google services on it and I can't use the Play Store over here, like for some markets, it may be an amazing phone for the year, but here maybe not so much. The iPhone SE definitely is a solid phone. Very much competes on par with the Pixel 4a, except for the camera. The Pixel 4a camera is better. Tablet of the year. I gotta say the Tab S6 Lite. I think that for a lot of people, the Tab S6 Lite, the price point, the power that it has, the stylus that comes with it, they did a great job with that phone. Like, it kind of came out with that tablet. It kind of came out of nowhere. And Samsung has always been known for, like, their flagship tablets, but the other ones, not really all that great. It's like, okay, you can get a Tab S series or you can get a Tab A. And I was like, okay, well, Tab A is okay, but it's nowhere near the Tab S6 or the Tab S7. So I really like what they did with the Tab S6 Lite. I've recommended it to a ton of people. Great price point. Has the S Pen with it. Like, unless you need a productivity tablet, I don't think you can go wrong with it in the Android world. King Sing, have you tried using the Porsche? Yeah, I've used it for phone calls, and it's perfectly good. I don't have any problems with it making phone calls at all. I have used it with the SIM quite a bit. Great phone. I really absolutely love this P9983, the Porsche design. It is such a good phone. I wish, like, if there were a way that I could, like, root this and put Android on it so I could continue to use it, then I would still be using this right now. I don't have to have a phone that's this big. Phones are communication devices, but this one right here, if I could still use this for all my typing and my phone calls and all my messaging and my social media stuff, you better believe that I would still be 1,000% happy using this phone. It is so good. Do you think there's a remote-controlled motor inside the golf ball that professionals play with? No, I do not. Not at all. Oh, goodness, man. We are almost at an hour already. So I guess it's go ahead and time to get ready to wrap up here. If there's any last-minute questions or things that y'all want to ask before we get ready to close up shop for the evening, then please feel free to go ahead and share those. And then, let me see. Have you... the Note 3 was a very good phone. The Note 3, the Note 4, the Note 5, I thought they were fantastic devices. I thought the Note 7 was one of the best Notes they ever made, other than, you know, the issues that they had and the reason that they recalled it and the safety problems. That was very unfortunate because it was such a good phone. But yeah, I love the Note devices, especially the older ones. Yeah, the P9983 is absolutely one of the best. I am really, Edgar, I am really hoping for a BlackBerry 10 theme launcher. And that's one of the specific questions that I sent over to Onward Mobility to talk to them about, because I think that I think it's something that they need to do. I think that would be a great way if they can convince everybody that the BlackBerry, new BlackBerry phone is the most secure phone in the world, put a BlackBerry 10 launcher on it, or something that resembles that. I think it would make a lot of BlackBerry people happy. Luca, the Fold 2 is aging well. I just took the screen protector off of it today. It's right here. So I was using it earlier. So, the Fold 2 is a solid phone. The only thing with this phone, so it had the factory installed screen protector on here, and it was fine for like, I don't know, a month or two, or even 3, however long this phone has been out now. And it looked so bad. Like, I would clean it all the time, and it just got to the point where I couldn't even get the stuff cleaned off of that screen protector anymore. So I finally took it off today, and oh my gosh, it looks so much nicer. Do I think the moon landing was real or fake? I think it was real. What were my top 3 phones of 2019? So my top 3 phones of 2019 were the G8, the Pixel 4 XL, and probably, if I had to say another phone for 2019, the third one would probably have to go to the Note 10 Plus. Such a good phone. Or the iPhone 11 Pro. The iPhone 11 Pro is a fantastic phone. Adam, what's my football team? The Houston Texans, unfortunately. Edgar, I'm starting with Android development. Would consider working on a BB10 themed launch. Hey, that would be amazing. That would be cool. We'll have to see how that pans out. Hopefully it does good. Well, we are at the hour mark, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping. William Kingston, yep, not a problem, in it for the long haul. Don't get worried. I would not be worried about it at all. See, here's the thing. I'll talk about this briefly before I hop off. This whole licensing agreement just got entered into with Blackberry and Onward Mobility towards the end of August. For Samsung, for OnePlus, for most of these other phones, it takes 8 to 10 months to bring a phone to market. I said in videos previously, months ago, that I don't expect they said first half of 2021. That gives them all the way up to July. So, and the way companies work, they don't ever do anything early. So I don't expect to see this new phone, an announcement, an official one, or it at least come to market till probably around June of this next year. So, yeah, it's really unrealistic and I think unreasonable for people to have expectations that, oh, by the way, we've got this new phone already and we just entered into this licensing agreement 3 months ago when they told us it was going to be out the first half of 2021, which is a 6-month time period. So don't worry about it at all. Well, yeah, if we don't start hearing anything around February or March, then yeah, I might worry then. But going into the holidays, December, this just got announced at the end of August. The company has personally told me that they don't have anything to talk about right now. There's not one part of me that's worried about it at all right now. Can I try the regular Note 20? I probably won't, just because I'd have to go out and buy it. I do have the Note 20 Ultra, so if you have questions on that, I'll be happy to answer them. How was the Blackberry Leap? Actually a very fantastic phone that should have come out sooner. It was probably one of my favorite Blackberry 10 devices. And yes, like Boom in the Sky says, come back on Tuesday for the Amazon Live, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I will be on with Soundcore, doing lots of talking about stuff. So come hang out with us then. And Robert Duluth, yeah. So we'll see what happens moving forward with the phones. But yeah, I wouldn't expect anything right now. So totally don't worry at all. So time to hop off here. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out tonight. Thank you for the continued support. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. And also, if you enjoyed the video or the stream on here tonight, please hit subscribe so you can get notifications for the next one and watch all the other videos that I made. And I pretty much put out videos daily, so there will be plenty more coming out this week. I've got like 3 ready to go already. So y'all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday night. I hope you all have a great time Monday morning. Make sure you drink plenty of coffee and enjoy the rat race of life as we get back to normal work tomorrow. So y'all have a wonderful evening. I'll see y'all again soon, and thanks so much for spending your time here with me this evening. So peace out, guys.